Introducing GForceTV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForceTV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForceTV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForceTV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForceTV racing leagues. GForceTV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForceTV.
Well, good evening, everybody. Night is upon us here at the virtual Weed Sport Speedway in Weedsport, New York, where tonight the A&J Custom Creations Renegades will make the trip to this storied speedway to do battle here with the G-Force Racing Leagues. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sean Niestead, and joined on this gorgeous Monday night by our good friend, Mr. Scotty DeYoung. Scotty Too Hottie, good to have you here tonight for the Renegades series again, Scotty.
Absolutely, Sean. Would not miss it for the world. It is sprint car time action here once again on Monday Night Madness. And looking at this blimp shot here, Sean, and what kind of track do we have in store for us tonight?
And that is exactly why we are looking down on the Weed Sport Speedway right now from high above it, because this is going to be a difficult night for the drivers of these A&J Custom Creations Renegades. Let's break it down as we welcome you in to the Gambler Motorsports, a pre-race show. Gambler Motorsports, an esports racing team that competes across the iRacing platform. The team has drivers entered in dirt races, sports cars, paved cars, endurance races. They've been busy with the 24 Hours of Daytona. They'll be in Le Mans as well. Just head on over to Gambler Motorsports on Facebook and give them a follow. All right, so we started to break down this racetrack, Scotty. Here we go. Front straightaway, it's straight. You don't have to worry too much about that, except for when it slicks off and you may spin your tires a little bit. But the rest of this racetrack, well, it's not so easy. Let's see who's out here on the racetrack right now. Looks like Steven Fernberg out here. No, he's not on the track, but Terry Landis is. All right, let's watch Terry Landis here make his way around the speedway, down the back stretch into Turn 3. Now, that's a nice, easy entrance because it's relatively rounded. Turn 4, not the easiest, but here is the tricky part. Turn number 1, I almost described it, Scotty, as a 90-degree turn down there. It is not an easy one to get around this racetrack, and we take a look at Jeffrey Barker making his way around the speedway right now, and not easy to get around this track. Scotty, your first impressions here were kind of like, what in the world are we doing here?
Like a D-shaped track, just like looking at it from the blimp camera. But yeah, it's very different, but sometimes different is good though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It can be good. Let's ride with Jeffrey Barker for a lap here. He's running the high side. A lot of moisture in the track right now. But here we go. That turn number 1, you got to slide it on in there and hope you were able to catch it before you get into the concrete there on the top of the speedway. And, you know, if that's not enough to talk about here, Scotty, with these cars, there's more on these machines. As try to get a look here. Looking back, you see the concrete. We'll look off the nose of Jeffrey Barker's car. Let's get back out here on the track. Here's Stephen Goldner's nose of the car. You see the high line here. He's nothing to worry about there. But look to the left of the screen when we get to turn 1. Right down there. and down there off of turn number 2. Yeah, there's concrete on the bottom of this racetrack, and with the odd shape, it is extremely easy to miss your marks by just a little bit and get into that concrete on the bottom of the racetrack. And I tell you what, the concrete doesn't lose when you pick a fight with it. Not once.
No.
There you go.
Yep, just like that. Concrete 1, car 0. This is what how we would put it. So, yeah, a very tricky track here tonight. We've seen other tracks, short tracks that are really tight corners and whatnot, and drivers have had a hard time here. But I think this is going to be the most difficult. Like you said before the show, Sean, when we were talking. This is the most difficult track in iRacing, but it's always good to throw a new challenge at these drivers, though, too.
And they will be challenged indeed here tonight as we continue on in your Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. A couple minutes before we do go into our Bandy-Built qualifications. And that brings us to our NSM Wraps points update. When you need your car to look its very best, Need Speed Motorsports online and on Facebook and get you set up with their NSM Wraps. And they bring us a look at the point standings coming into tonight's action here at the Weed Sports Speedway.
Yeah, we see Kyle Moonen, that 24 car, always been consistent since the drop of the green flag here from week 1. Steven Goldner has also been one of those consistent one, too, and Sean Bowers. These 3 guys at the top of the points, and Lane Snook, also the 12-year-old outlaw kart driver, tied for 3rd. Those 4 drivers right there, the top of the class here, always consistent each and every week, and definitely know how to put on a show.
Yeah, behind them, with the tie between Bowers and Snook there, you got Jack Clevenger in the 5th spot, Ross Carrenta in 6th. Jesse Bandy sits 7th in the points, Jonathan Short right behind him in 8th, Max Langevin in the 9th spot, and Aiden Young sits in position number 10. See the asterisks next to our feature winners, your top 3 in the points as they sit there on the screen. Moonen with 2, Goldner with 2, Bowers picked up the season opener, to put him ahead of Lane Snook in the tiebreaker, and also Brennan Lacey won 2 weeks ago to put his name onto the screen as well. So a good mix of different winners so far this year, Scotty, with our A&J Custom Creations Renegades, and I enjoy that. I like to see the wealth get spread around here across the top of the charts. So that's also a good testament to the level of quality of racing we've had so far this year with these drivers.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, each track has been just phenomenal with the racing action, and these guys, though, too, they know how to put on a show each and every week, and it's, we see a lot of the same guys up at the top, but there's been a couple instances where we've seen different names, so different tracks, different names, coming together. It's really awesome to see, and it's going to be interesting tonight here at Weed Sport, like I said, with how tricky this track is to navigate. But who knows, we could see another name running on the top tonight. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, that's all part of the game, and that's why we'll be here this evening for all of the events as we watch Jeffrey Barker, one of the drivers out there, getting a couple last-minute laps around the Weed Sports Speedway. Terry Landis is out here on the Speedway as well in his 661 as he makes his way around the Speedway. As you see the top 18 drivers with their times on the left side of the screen here tonight as they continue to work through the final couple minutes of practice. I'm going to put it out there, Scotty. One of the drivers we're going to have to watch here tonight, Steven Goldner, and the number 30 ride. He's got 2 wins here this season with the A&J Custom Creations Renegades. He's the most recent winner at this racetrack in a GeForce Racing League event for these sprint cars. He picked up that win in the Elite Series this past Wednesday night. So got to think that number 30 car of Goldner is going to be one to look out for here this evening.
Well, and he was also the winner from Eldora last week too, Sean, and topping Lane Snook. Lane Snook, the runner-up there. Those two put on a great show at Eldora. So now coming to this type track, are they going to be able to navigate it? Do they have the right setups? Everything is going to come into play here tonight. But Steven Goldner, definitely a one to watch. It looks like he's sitting 5th fastest right now in practice. So Steven Goldner, 30 car, going to be one to watch tonight.
Absolutely, as it looks like final moments of practice here tonight happening out there on the racetrack, and we'll get set to go into Bandy-Built qualifications here in a matter of a couple of mementos as the tickers and everything changing over, and we get ready for the Bandy-Built qualifications here tonight as, of course, we know our good friends at Bandy-Built bringing us qualifications each and every week. They're a proud supporter of the GeForce Racing Leagues. They're headquartered over in Rochester, Minnesota, and they put a focus on fun and friendly competition. That, of course, Bandy-Built race cars bringing us qualifications here this evening from the Weed Sports Speedway. We'll change the way the screen looks here a little bit to get you some different numbers up here on the screen as we...
I like seeing this, Sean. This is really the weather conditions and everything. Like we
Yeah.
mentioned last week, out in the real world, weather plays a real factor. Here in iRacing, it does too, and I think that's just absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely. As you see the time starting to tick in, Donovan Ross, top of the chart there, a 12.558 for his fast time, and he'll go a little quicker. Lap at number 2, 12.544. Donovan Ross up there in the top spot. John Hines sits number 2, 12.578. And the number 71, the 03 of Sean Bowers up there to the third spot at 12.607 for his lap, fastest lap. John Short, 12.615 out there on the speedway. As the teams continue to make their way onto the track for some qualifications here tonight. As I see the times continue to tick in there. Donovan Ross still on top of the charts here tonight. So good start there for the driver who's had a lot of success so far this season in the Rebels Series, which just finished up their event here a few minutes ago. As you see, looks like Donovan Ross taking some extra practice out there. Looks like Brandon Schultz checked in for action here tonight. Scotty, we haven't seen Brandon Schultz since he picked up that big block win earlier this year, kind of dominating style. So good to see him in the field tonight.
Yeah, definitely good to see him. Looks like John Hine, our 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger recipient last week, second quickest now in that 71 car. Sean, I don't know if I'm blind or maybe if I'm not seeing him. I don't see a Kyle Moonen 24 car out there anywhere. Do you?
Oh, well, let's see here. Brandon Schultz just jumped up to 6th quick, by the way, as he's out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can take a look at Brandon Schultz as he comes around the racetrack. I do see Kyle Moonen has checked in. He has not taken a qualification lap at this point, so we will have to see if he gets out there on the track. Looks like 26 cars possibly tonight. Let's see, Kevin Fry's checked in, but I know he's officiating some tonight, so I don't know if he's going to be behind the wheel of a car, but we'll see. Kyle Moonen, one of those drivers who has yet to take a time here this evening, as Brandon Schultz takes it back pit side after his 6th place run in Bandy-Built qualifications. So times coming in here tonight. Final moments of qualifications. Checkered is out on that, and yeah, we will not get a time for Kyle Moonen. But guess what? We're going to see him early on. If he is here and ready to race, we're about to find out, because heat race number 1 is about to get set on the racetrack. Scotty, we can take a look at that starting lineup.
And it's going to be Jack Clevenger in the 78 car to the inside of row number 1. To his outside, the 07 of Preston Cramner.
Row number 2, John Short on the inside, the number 51 ride. And to his right, he's tonight's quick timer. That'll be the number 5 of Donovan Ross.
To the inside of row 3 in the 57 car, that is Bandy-Built himself, Jesse Bandy. And to the outside, the number 30 car to watch here tonight, that is Stephen Goldner.
Jeff Fitzpatrick, well, he'll line up on the inside of the 4th row, the number 90 car. Next to him, the 31, that's Zane Walters in from Pennsylvania, starting 8th on the grid. He picked up the win just a little bit ago in the Rebel Series.
It is the 24 car, Kyle Moonen, starting shotgun on the field, and as well as your current points leader. That is your starting lineup for heat race number 1, brought to you by A&J Custom Creations.
Over at A&J Custom Creations, they specialize in laser engraving and so much more with their CNC machining. They put a focus on craftsmanship, and they show it off in every wood trophy and plaque that they produce. A&J provides trophies and plaques to all of the GeForce Racing League Division champions. You can contact Andy Patton for your custom creation from A&J Custom Creations anytime after he's done racing in the GeForce Racing Leagues. But you got to make sure, gotta let the man, he works hard. Everything is custom, so you got to let him have a little bit of time to blow off some steam and get out there on the racetrack and do some racing. And Scotty, there's a car missing out here on the racetrack right now. That was the driver scheduled to start 9th on the grid, Kyle Moonen.
Oh, I wonder maybe if he's doing some officiating tonight too. Then I wonder, because yeah, I don't see a 24 car out there. Looks like Fitzpatrick and Walters rounding out the field there. So I don't know. We might see a points change here. Maybe not this week, but maybe in the next couple of weeks if Moonen's not out here.
Gotta wonder, maybe having a computer issue, got to get things reset as the field is set for the green. We work off of turn number 4. The G-Force Racing League's A&J Custom Creations Renegades are green from the Weed Sports Speedway.
That they are, and it's going to be Clevenger's 78 car going to lead him down into turn 1 and 2. Now down the backstretch into turn 3. 07 Cramner in chase. Donovan Ross up to that third place position. Side by side for the race lead off of turn number 4. Lap 1 is in the books. Clevenger still with the race lead off turn number 2.
Preston Cranmer right there. Ross and Short in the final transfer spot as there's a battle for that position. Stephen Goldner taking a look at it. We got trouble here on the front straightaway as you see the pile up there. Several cars going to get dinged up there as they continue on now, but Preston Cranmer has fallen deep in the field. You see him minus the nose wing, so big trouble there for the driver that was in a transfer spot. No trouble, though, for Jack Clevenger. That 78 still looking good out front.
And it's going to be John Short running in that second place spot in car 51. Jesse Bandy, the 57 car, up to that third place spot. And Donovan Ross holds on to that fourth and final transfer spot at the moment. Stephen Goldner, though, to the tail tank of the number 5. Going to get shuffled back a little bit now as we have 4 laps to go coming to the flag stand, this time by Sean.
So they'll make their way down the front straightaway as tough race as Jesse Bandy up there in the third spot. Take a look at that. He's minus the nose wing on the Bandy-built 57. So there's been a lot of damage, and we're only in our first heat race of the evening. This is not going to be good for a lot of these drivers and their incidents per lap rating, but the Weed Sports Speedway is tough. It'll do it to you. Donovan Ross has that final transfer spot. They come to the white flag. We'll watch this one here, Scotty. Who's going to get that final transfer position? Donovan Ross has it right now.
Stephen Goldner, you see him slide up to the top of the racetrack in car 30, but gets into the muck. He's going to try to hold on here as it's going to be Donovan Ross taking home that fourth and final transfer spot. Jesse Bandy hangs on to third. Jonathan Short, that second place position. And Jack Clevenger will take home heat race number 1 in 78.
So let's take a look at your official results here from our opening heat race. Clevenger, Short, Bandy, and Ross, your transfers. Stephen Goldner, recent winner here, last week's winner with the Renegades. He'll be in tonight's B main. Zane Walters, Preston Cranmer, Jeff Fitzpatrick, and Kyle Moonen, the official finish for heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 ready to come on to the racetrack, Scotty. And the starting lineup for this one, we'll have Luke Gazarisk out of Ohio. The number 419, he'll start on the pole. The 20 of Blake Chapman outside of row number 1.
Corey Kostler to the inside of row number 2 in car 126. And last week, 2W's Hard Charger is going to be the 71 of John Hine to his outside.
Matthew Croakey, the number 2 ride, starts inside the third row with JP, Jeremy Paulson, the triple knot on the outside of him, going from 6th.
Inside of row number 4, the 513 of Jeffrey Barker is going to push off from position number 7 into his outside, the 45 car of Matt Ramsey.
Coming from the back, it's Zachary Chapman in car number 720. That is the starting lineup. It is the heat race number 2, brought to us by the McConey Setup Shop. At the McConey Setup Shop, they may be their setups, but they are your victories. McConey's commitment to providing high-quality setups at affordable price remains since day 1 and still drives the company to this day. Of course, one of the great things about the McConey Setup Shop is their open-door policy with communication to make sure that every setup you get from the McConey Setup Shop is dialed just for your specifications. That's the McConey Setup Shop, bringing us heat race number 2 of the A&J Custom Creations Renegades. Scotty, we've got 8 laps on the board. Top 4 finishers go directly to tonight's A main. Field works themselves off of turn number 4. We're looking for the green, and we've got it.
Green flags out for the McConey Setup Shop. Heat race number 2 is going to be Gazarick out to the race lead. Chapman in the Skittles car. Tuck tail right behind him. Side-by-side battle for that third and fourth place spot between Kustler and Hine. Hine's going to hit the high side. Your 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger recipient last week. Still a great battle for that third and fourth place spot as here comes the 126 of Kustler. Gets shuffled back to 4th. Paulson, that 000 car, hunting for a top 4.
So Paulson right now 1 out, looking in, trying to get it into the dance here tonight, but Kustler right now looking very strong. The 126 in the final transfer spot as they work it down into turn number 3. Now off of 4, you see Gasgrick continue to lead. Blake Chapman right there in the second spot. I got to tell you, Scotty, last Wednesday night in the Elite Division, Chapman looked like he had the feature win, but he got it stolen out of his hands. right there at the last lap. He's looking for some redemption tonight in that bright number 20 machine.
That he is. Skittles car to the outside. Cannot get the run off turn number 2 that he needs. John Hine looking for more in that third position. Oh, Chapman a little slideways through turns 3 and 4. Side by side for a split second. Hine now back down to the bottom side as we are on board with Chapman looking in front of him at Gazarek, still with the race lead. Into turn number 3 and 4 they come. Off of turn 4. Gazarek still with the race lead. 2 laps to go.
They'll head on down into turn number 1. Here comes Kussler to the inside, the 126, making a move. Hine now to the inside of the 20 of Chapman, battling for the position off of turn number 4. They will see the white flag. We're on the final lap of McConey Setup Shop Heat Race number 2. 5 cars on the screen, only 4 of them going to transfer. Can Paulson make the run on Kussler in the final set of turns? We'll find out as they make their way to the finishing line. It is Gazarek getting the win. Chapman, Hine, and Kussler going to get the final transfer spots. Luke Gazarek in that big game tree stands themed car number 419 picks up the win. As we'll take a look at your official results now from the McCody Setup Shop Heat Race number 2. As you see, Luke Gazarek picking up the victory. Blake Chapman, John Hine, Corey Kussler in the transfer spots. Jeremy Paulson, Jeffrey Barker, Matthew Croakey, Matt Ramsey, Zachary Chapman going to do some last chance action coming up later on this evening. Third heat race of the night from the Weed Sports Speedway getting set to come on to the racetrack. And I'm going to hit the right button sooner or later here, Scotty. How about this? Starting lineup, Steven Fernberg, 29 on the pole. Connor Ross outside of him in the number 35. I've got too many buttons over here tonight.
Making his return now to the inside of row number 2, the 193 car of Brandon Schultz, and his outside, the 03, Sean Bowers.
To the third row, that's Jareth Pike, the number 91 on the inside, the 661, Terry Landis. He'll start 6th on the grid.
Max Langham to the inside of your 4th and final row in car 161, and Mr. A&J Custom Creations himself, Andy Patton, in car 87 to the outside.
Heat race number 3 brought to us by Howard Hanna Real Estate. Howard Hanna Real Estate, the number 1 family-owned and operated independent broker in the United States. And Scott Herwood at Howard Hanna Real Estate, a multi-million-dollar commercial and residential real estate agent. For many years, he knows how to ask the right questions to get the best house at the right price. And it's okay if you're not in their area. He can find you a real estate agent anywhere across the country to help you get the best deal on your next home. That's Scott Herwitt with Howard Hanna Real Estate bringing us heat race number 3. Scotty, 8 laps. Top 4 are going to go on to tonight's A-Main. Directly the rest, they'll have to go to that dreaded B feature. Here comes the green flag off of turn 4.
Off turn 4 they come, and green is out. We are underway with a Howard Hanna Real Estate heat race number 3. Look at that 35 car of Ross. Was charging on the outside, got shuffled back to 3rd. He's going to hit the high side now, going to look to the inside of Fernberg. Fernberg's going to lead lap number 1.
Ooh, a little wild one there. Look at that battle for the 4th and final transfer spot. Bowers has it. Landis took a look to the inside. Here comes Brandon Schultz to the inside. Slide job contact. We've got trouble over there. In turn number 4, Connor Ross is not going to be happy about that one as he gets tipped over. Meanwhile, Sean Bowers continues in the 2nd spot. Brandon Schultz runs 3rd in the 93. And Terry Landis now in the final transfer spot in that Kreitz Racing 661.
A little bit of distance back to Pike in car 91, currently sitting in 5th, as I know he wants to get into that A feature tonight. Fernberg still with the race lead in car 29 as we see Patton in 6th, Langevin and Ross coming home in 8th as he flipped earlier. Fernberg still with the race lead in car 29. You see him stalling at the wheel, navigating through turns 1 and 2, now into 3 and 4. Looking smooth off turn number 4. 3 laps to go this time by for car 29.
We'll keep an eye here on Steven Fernberg, who, it's a formal affair here tonight. Take a look at that right there. He's wearing a tie inside the cockpit. Nice touch there. You can always dress up to go to the racetrack. Dress for success is what they say. Fernberg, your leader. Bowers, Schultz, Landis in the transfer spots. Landis with trouble. He'll go around in the 661. He's going to lose several positions. Now Pike in the number 91 ride. He's your final transfer as they're under the white flag.
Flag, but look at this battle heating up for 2nd, though, Sean, as though it looked like Schultz in the 193. He's going to take a peek to the inside. Coming to the line, though, Steven Fernberg, Sean Bowers, Schultz, and then Pike, your top 4, transferring to tonight's A feature. Patton, Langeman, Landis, and Ross will have to come through your Velocity Race Design B feature.
Boy, plenty of action there in the Howard Hanna Real Estate Heat Race number 3 as we will get set for some Velocity Race Design B-Main action coming up next on the Speedway, Scotty. But first, let's take a official finish look at the results there from Heat Race number 3. Fernberg, Bowers, Schultz, Pike get the transfers. Patton was 5th. Langevin, Landis, and Ross, your 8 cars who finished heat race number 3. We'll get set for that Velocity Race Design B-Main event, which is up next on the Speedway. And the starting grid coming up there with Steven Goldner on the pole position. That's the number 30. And the 000, Jeremy Paulson outside row number 1.
It's going to be Andy Patton to the inside of row number 2 in car 87, and Zane Walters in the 031 to the outside, pushing off from position number 4.
Jeffrey Barker starts inside the 3rd row in the 513. Max Langevin on his outside, the 161 car.
Preston Kramer to the inside of row number 4 in the 07, and his outside, the number 2 car, Matthew Croakey.
Terry Landis starts 9th on the grid, the 661. Jeff Fitzpatrick outside of him, going from 10th in the number 90 ride.
Going from 11th is going to be the 45 of Matt Ramsey, and Connor Ross in the 35 to his outside.
That will be your starting lineup for the B-Main. Looks like Zachary Chapman, Kyle Moonen both not making the call for tonight's Velocity Race Design B-Main. Velocity Race Design, a proud supporter of the G-Force Racing Leagues. Look no further than Velocity Race Design for a fresh new look on your car. Whether it's a hot new design of a real car or a retro throwback of your hero for the sim, Velocity Race Design has you covered. Race on over to Velocity Race Design on Facebook and order your custom paint design right after the checkered flag flies in tonight's event here with the Renegades. Velocity Race Design brings us tonight's B-Main. And we're going to take the top 12 to the big dance here tonight. So
everyone going.
Yes. It's doing some math there. We got 12 cars on the track, 12 go. So play it smart, boys. We'll see how much that lasts, right, Scotty? You're in a race car on a racetrack. You want to do racing things. We're about to do that. Green flag coming out.
Green flag is, yes, it is out. Steven Goldner, it will lead them into turn 1 and 2. Wow, great start from Goldner in the 30 car, and they're all beating and banging back behind them as Paulson's going to be in that second place spot. Croakey, Barker, and Walters, your current top 5, as Goldner starting to check out already after 1 lap here in your consolation feature.
It is a tough racetrack. Matthew Croakey switching it over to the white and pink car this week as they make his way off turn number 4, looking to the inside of Jeremy Paulson. He'll have the position as they race back down into turn number 1 and down the back straightaway. Now Croakey into position number 2. Paulson 3rd, Zane Walters, and Jeffrey Barker in the top 5 here early on in tonight's Velocity Race Design B-Main.
Meanwhile, out front, Goldner has put the key on the counter. Goodbye, checked out. See ya. That 30 car is gone, coming off turn number 4 and down the front stretch into turn 1 as Croakey just about, I would say, like a half straightaway behind him as they are fighting for some spots back deeper in the field. But currently, Goldner, Croakey, Paulson, Walters, and Barker still no change in your top 5, Sean.
See them racing down the front straightaway. Some close action there up front. Steven Goldner continues out front. That number 30 ride is looking strong as you see him ripping down the front straightaway. Here will come to 4 laps to go in tonight's Velocity Race Design B-Main, and he leads by 2.4 seconds over Matthew Croakey, Jeremy Paulson, Zane Walters, Jeffrey Barker in the top 5. Car slowing on the front straightaway. Matt Ramsey in the 45 machine. He'll tap out of this B-Main. Says, I'll see you guys in the A. He had enough of this B-Main.
Ramsey was running in 11th. Fitzpatrick was running in 12th. Both those cars checked out. Landis now running in your 10th spot. Roth in 9th, Patton in 8th, Cranmer in 7th, Langevin in 6th. But with a lap and a half to go, it is all Steven Goldner out front in car 30.
He'll come down and see the white flag final time around the speedway for Steven Goldner, last week's winner with the A&J Custom Creations Renegades, and he'll make his way into turn 3. Now off of turn number 4, and he'll come to the checker flag, and he'll pick up the win in tonight's Velocity Race Design B-Main. Croakey will cross the line in 3rd. Jeremy Paulson coming around. He'll finish in the 3rd spot. Croakey was 2nd. Walters, Barker completing your top 5 as you see the names light up on the left of the screen as they pass under the start-finish line right underneath us. And that will put all of the qualifying action for tonight's GeForce Racing League's A&J Custom Creations Renegades into the books here tonight as they're set for tonight's main event, which is coming up here in just a couple minutes. A quick look at your results from tonight's B main event, brought to us by Velocity Race Design, Goldner, Croaky, Paulson, Walters, Barker, the top 5, Langevin, Ross, Cranmer, Landis, Patton in the top 10, Ramsey, and Fitzpatrick. They'll go on to the A main as well, which is coming up here in just a couple of moments. Scotty, that's going to bring us into tonight's Icon Sim Sports pre-main break as we get set for action coming up here in mere moments from the Weed Sports Speedway for the main event. Of course, Icon Sim Sports can give you the one-of-a-kind fixed chassis experience that's like none other, and they exemplify extraordinary customer service with each and every order. You don't have to imagine. You can have your own personalized sim racing league that's built specifically for you. It's a custom chassis engineered to accommodate your needs. It replicates the look, feel, and design of a real race car. What more could you want? There's absolutely nothing more. Head on over to iconsimsports.com to see your next iRacing sim rig. Stay tuned. After the break, we will unveil this week's NSM Photos Driver of the Week, and we'll have tonight's A&J Custom Creations Renegades main event. You're watching the Renegades live at Weed Sports Speedway on GeForce TV.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
We welcome you back to the Weed Sports Speedway for the GeForce Racing Leagues and the A&J Custom Creations Renegades. Scotty, it's time to unveil this week's NSM Photos Driver of the Week.
It's a wonderful thing if it works. I believe Greg Boydell. Is that the one I'm thinking of here?
Absolutely, you got it right.
Greg Boydell is this week's NSM Driver of the Week, passing 17 cars to finish in position at number 6 in the Rebels feature. So Greg Boydell is our NSM Photos Driver of the Week.
Congratulations in order for him as we're moments away. You see the ticker on the top of the screen there, a little over a minute before we get into tonight's A&J Custom Creations main event. Malcolm Mills will bring us the replays here tonight. They're based in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. Malcolm Mills Mill Writing, a full-service mill writing contractor featuring custom welding, fabricating, and they'll have full services for their industrial clients. You can learn more at mmmillwriting.com. And Scotty, that's not all. We also have a hard charger award up for grabs tonight as well.
2W's Plumbing puts up the Hard Charger Award, and they are located in Naples, New York. 2W's Plumbing is a full-service company specializing in all aspects of plumbing, general contracting, and water treatment for commercial, residential, and multifamily housing. Contact Chris Whipple today at 585-749-9478 or at 2wsplumbingllc.com. 2W's Plumbing brings you the Hard Charger recipient tonight.
And, of course, everybody wants to head to the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane presentation after our main event. If you're looking to stand out from the competition, Epsilon Sprint Wraps creates tailor-made graphics and logos to fit your personal taste. They will bring us the presentation down there in Victory Lane. Supreme Sim Racing brings us the starting lineup of our main event. Nobody does it like Team Supreme. Supreme Sim Racing. Watch for their hosted lobbies throughout the week under the name SSR for your chance to be invited to their team. Again, nobody does it like Team Supreme, and they're going to bring us tonight's starting grid for the main event here at the Weed Sports Speedway. Next Monday night, the Renegades heading to the Volusia Speedway. So another D-shaped racetrack. I love racing at Volusia. Great times over there. And Scotty, speaking of great times, how about we take a look at tonight's starting lineup for the 30-lap main event.
It's going to be Jack Clevenger in car 78. Starting on the pole here tonight, Luke Gazarek in car 419 to his outside.
Steven Fernberg starts third in the 29, and John Short on the outside of the second row, piloting car number 51.
Inside of row 3, Blake Chapman in the Skittles 20 car starts the inside to his outside, the 03. That is Sean Bowers.
Starting inside the fourth row, it's the number 57 of Jesse Bandy. And alongside him, he was the hard charger 1 week ago, John Hine in car number 71.
Making his return tonight to the inside of row number 5. That's going to be the 193 of Brandon Schultz. To his outside, that is the 5 of Donovan Ross, pushing off from position number 10.
Starting 11th, the 126 of Corey Kusler. And next to him, Jareth Pike, lining up 12th on the grid outside row number 6. He drives the number 91.
Starting in position number 13, he was your consolation feature winner. That is the number 30 of Stephen Goldner. And his outside, the 2 of Matthew Crokey.
Jeremy Paulson starts 15th on the grid, the 000 inside row number 8, and joining next to him, the 31 of Zane Walters.
It's going to be Jeffrey Bark in the 513, pushing off from position 17, and Max Langevin in the 161 to his outside.
Starting 19th on the grid, the number 35 of Connor Ross, and next to him, Preston Cranmer, and car number 07.
Row 11 is going to see the 661 of Terry Landis and Andy Patton to the outside in car 87.
And your final starters in row 12, Matt Ramsey in the 45 inside, outside, Jeff Fitzpatrick in car number 90. That is our starting grid. The distance 30 times around the Weed Sports Speedway, and we get set for the green as the field makes their way to the starting stripe over here in turn number 4. Scotty, this is going to be the most difficult 30-lap feature these drivers face this season with the A&J Custom Creations Renegades. It's time to get it on here for some Monday Night Madness.
As Rod Patterson would say, they hit the fun button and let it begin. Jack Clevenger out with a race lead. Look at that, 3-4 wide through turns 1 and 2. Oh my goodness. Lap number 1, crazy already, but it looks like Jack Clevenger is going to be your leader after lap 1.
We've got a caution flag coming out over the speedway. Trouble over there in turn number 4, going to put us under the caution as we've got 1 lap officially counted. And we'll still have 29 laps of racing happening here yet tonight for these A&J Custom Creations Renegades. We'll see if we can grab a Malcolm Mills replay here in a moment or two, if we can figure out what caused the caution over there in the 4th turn. Let's take a look at a Malcolm Mills replay over here in turn number 2. Keep an eye on Jareth Pike, the number 91 car there heading into the corner. And they check up in front of him, and he gets turned around, and that was it. That brings out the caution here for our Malcolm Mills replay.
No tough luck for the 91 car at Jareth Pike. He will go to the tail. Once again, that was your Malcolm Mills replay. And Jack Clevenger, though, he had the best start out of anyone when that green flag dropped. He is currently your race leader. Looks like John Short in 2nd, Chapman running in 3rd. Clevenger has usually been one near the top here in this series, Sean, and he's definitely a driver to watch.
Absolutely, he is. He has been so close to victory with us so far this season with these A&J Custom Creations Renegades. Had a great run at the Lernerville Speedway, and really thought he was going to get the win that night. Didn't happen to fall his way, but right now he looks very strong here. Been looking good all night long, really, the driver of that 78 machine out front. We'll have to see if the Rudian Racing 78 can get it back into the winning ways here, but it's still a long ways from home in tonight's A&J Custom Creations main event.
That it is, and if I believe they are counting caution laps too, aren't they, Sean?
No, the caution laps, after we go green, they'll subtract the laps back off there. So that's why you
Gotcha.
see, you know, when you watch iRacing events, and we've got all these fancy scoring tickers so you can keep up on what's going on all through the race. And then, like, the yellow comes out and, like, they just go insane and things click around all the time. That's what's happening. They're just correcting all of the scoring normalities for iRacing. You see 26 laps to go up there on the board, so a couple laps did count there under the yellow. Clevenger leads us as we're back to green.
That we are, and my screen not working at the moment. We're going to switch to live time. Clevenger still out in that top spot. Short is going to be running in second. Yeah, I believe Walter's running third now, I believe, but it's going to be Jack Clevenger still out in front, car 78.
Yeah, there you saw everything went wonky there as they were getting everything corrected. We're on lap number 4 of 30 here from the Weed Sports Speedway. Looking at Jesse Bandy in the 57, working over the 03 of Sean Bowers down into turn number 3. They go. Bandy gets the car all sorts of sideways. He'll collect it up. They head back down the front straightaway and down into turn number 1. Meanwhile, out front, Clevenger and John Short starting to race for the lead off of turn number 4.
That they are. John Short with a race lead ever so slightly. Clevenger battles back. Now Chapman still running in that third place spot. Gazarek started on the outside pole, now running fourth. Bowers up to that fourth position now. Gazarek shuffled back to third, but Jack Clevenger in car 78 still with a race lead, but John Short hot on his heels in car 51.
Side by side for the lead, 24 to go. They hustle down off of turn number 2. Clevenger working that high line. Short taking the short way around the speedway. Down there on the bottom, he runs in the second spot. This is happening 1.3 seconds in front of Blake Chapman, who runs in third. They've got lap traffic just in front of them. Short with another good run back into turn 1, but Clevenger pulls away off of turn 2.
Clevenger using the high side to his advantage. Short getting way shuffled back as we see the dust fly. Lap traffic about to come into factor, though, as the caution comes out with 22 laps to go.
We'll have to take a look. Oh, I see some incident down there in turn number 2, putting us under the yellow here in tonight's A&J Custom Creations main event, as the yellow flag flies for the second time in this feature event. We'll see if we can get a look at a Malcolm Mills replay here of what put us under the caution.
Yeah, sorry about that, Sean. My screen's been a little spotty, so I had to switch to live timing, and
It happens.
Oh,
Everything's
yeah.
a little spotty over here as things were getting kind of wild out there on the racetrack with all the timing issues. Let's see a replay here. Malcolm Mills replay. Max Langevin may have been the cause of the caution. You see his 161. And then he gets a little shot from the 07 of Cranmer. And that's what put us under the yellow here in tonight's A&J Custom Creations main event. That was your Malcolm Mills replay. Yeah, I was talking about how the scoring tickers go nuts when iRacing and race administrators got to correct all the laps, and then poof, there was all sorts of wizardry going on there when we went back to green.
yeah, I had to switch over to our live timing screen that you and I share, so I was calling off of that for a few laps. But hey, we're all good. We're all good here. So
That's why we've got the systems we have, right? Do our best.
looks like Clevenger is still going to be with the race lead. John Short, though, putting up a great battle for that top spot in those last few laps just before this second caution came out. Definitely, and Chapman, I believe, in there as well, and Bowers. Both the top 4 guys putting on a great battle here for that top spot, and actually for positions 1 through 4. So
Yeah, it's been a good one out here on the racetrack early on here at the Weed Sports Speedway. We'll assume that's going to continue as Clevenger is about to assume green flag action once again off of turn number 4. He'll put the right foot down, and we are back underway with 22 green flag laps remaining here at the Weed Sports Speedway for the GeForce Racing League A&J Custom Creations Renegades.
Clevenger immediately go to the high side as Short took the bottom side, then slid up to the high side using the bottom side of the racetrack again. New race leader John Short at the flag stand to the inside of Clevenger. He's going to have the race lead now off turn number 2.
Down the back straightaway they go. Short has it. Clevenger trying to come back at him. And back there in the third spot, the 0-3 of Sean Bowers, who's in the fourth position. Chapman right in front of him, starting to get that high line wound up as Brandon Schultz sneaks into the top 5 as well. Started 9th on the grid. Did the driver of the 193. So some drivers starting to make their way through the field, including John Short, who is your leader. He started 4th here tonight.
As you see, Clevenger changing his lines, going to follow in the tracks of John Short, your new race leader. Chapman hanging on to 3rd, but Bowers in that 4th position trying to make a charge to that 3rd place spot in car 03. Schultz in your top 5 now in car 193, as Jonathan Short still continues to lead the way on car 51.
Here's the battle for 3rd right now between Bowers and the 0-3 on the top, the 20 of Chapman on the bottom, and Brandon Schultz trying to make hay on the high line. He'll have a good run down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Schultz trying to advance in the top 5, may do so here down the back straightaway. Looking to the outside of the 20 of Chapman, side by side in turn 3. Off of turn number 4 we come. The 193 of Schultz now up into the 4th position.
But we're going to go back to your 10th place spot now, right, Sean? And Preston Kramer up 10 positions. Currently your 2W Plumbing Hard Charger, the 07, up 10 positions, currently sits in 10th. Up 5 positions, though. Brandon Schultz up to that 4th place spot. Sean Bowers running 3rd. John Short still with a race lead.
We are halfway home in tonight's A&J Custom Creations main event as see a good look there. Preston Cranmer coming down the back straightaway. Short continues to lead out front, the number 51. He'll slide up the racetrack. He has a 1.2 second lead over Jack Clevenger. Sean Bowers running in 3rd. Brandon Schultz got the wing pulled back to the trunk. That driver from Wisconsin may have the that wing may be pulled back all the way into Minnesota on that 93 machine, trying to plant those rear tires and get a good forward drive. Blake Chapman continues to round out your top 5. John Hine in the 6th spot. He battles with Jesse Bandy, who runs in 7th. Matthew Krokey right behind them in 8th. Luke Gazarek is 9th. And Preston Cranmer, he's in the 10th position, and they're battling behind him. Here comes Stephen Goldner from the B main, working to the outside of the speedway in the 30.
Track's starting to slick off here just a little bit, Sean. So setups coming into play. How finesse do they have to be on the gas pedal on this tricky track? You see John Stewart still with the race lead, currently coming up, I believe, on the 91 of Pike, as it looks like they'd be starting to get into lap traffic here. John Short still with the race lead in car 51 as the caution comes out with just 10 laps to go.
Oh, lap traffic was just starting to get good for the race leaders. Well, good depends on your vantage point of that, as you know, I bet John Short might be okay having some clean air in front of him when we go back to the green here tonight, because he had a lot of traffic just in front of that number 51 machine that he was going to have to contend with in the coming laps.
That he is there, and he's been putting up a whale of a battle, though, out front to get to that spot. So the A&J Custom Creations cars you see on the left side of that 51 wing, out with the race lead. Put up a great battle, though, with Clevenger, as we're going to look at a Malcolm Mills replay. Donovan Ross, the 5 car here, is what we're looking at coming into turn number 3. Right rear to the wall, and that was all she wrote for Donovan Ross in the 5 car.
It's going to take that right-hand turn off the racetrack and get into that extra barricade out there, and the Devo Transport Routine Racing number 5, I believe, is out there in the pits right now trying to get some repairs. So that was the reason for the caution, and you got to look at it on your Malcolm Mills replay. There's a look at your race leader, continuing to be John Short, showing the way here after a good battle there with Jack Clevenger for the lead spot, and they'll have about 1/3 of this race to battle it out. But Brandon Schultz, look at him, he's up to that 3rd spot here, Scotty. He started 9th on the grid as we're back to green, heading on down into turn number 1.
Does Schultz have anything for your top 2? Looking to the inside of Clevenger now off turn number 2, but John Short got the greatest restart that he needed. That 51 is starting to check out as they battle side by side for that 2nd place spot off turn number 4. Who's going to have it? It's going to be Schultz at the flag stand. Brandon Schultz to your 2nd place spot.
Schultz is on the move here tonight in that number 93 machine. Does he have the time? The caution is out. Yellow flag over the speedway. Inside of 10 laps to go in tonight's A&J Custom Creations main event. Oh, this is going to be a heartbreaker here, Scotty. I am afraid. Let's take a look at this Malcolm Mills replay. Keep your eye on the 07 of Preston Cranmer. as he makes his way down the front straightaway. Oh, tough break for him, and let's see if we can go back. That was, let's roll this back a little bit if we can here to see exactly what happened here on the front stretch.
Battling with Goldner, it looked like off turn number 4 for that spot. And, Goldner tried to slide him. It looks like just didn't quite clear him enough. And what was your 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger recipient up and out of the park, upside down. Oh, tough luck for Preston Kramer in the 07 car.
Yeah, not how you want the night to end there for the driver who had charged so far through the field, and that is what put us on the caution. You know, no malice there from the 30 of Steven Goldner, just tight racing there on the front straightaway, and he had to get his car set up for the corner, and it just so happened that there was a car on his outside, and they make contact, and we get the yellow. That's going to change a lot, though, here, Scotty, because you look at this. Jonathan Short, your restart leader. Brandon Schultz has gained 7 spots. He will restart number 2 in that number 93 machine. This is going to be interesting here on this restart. Schultz right there, Clevenger in the 3rd position. We're coming to that green off of turn number 4. Anybody's guess who's going to win this one here tonight at Weed Sport. It's about to get exciting, and it's going to be some difficult 9 laps for these drivers to navigate if they want to go to the Epsilon Sprint Wraps victory lane.
That it is. Schultz is going to have the restart like he had on the last one. And looks like to be, he's going to tuck tail behind Jonathan Short off turn number 2. 8 laps to go here. Clevenger falling back. Look at Schultz. He's going to hit the high side in turns 3 and 4. Looking to come at a call, carrying around the corner. Cannot do so. Diving back down to the bottom to the inside of Jonathan Short. Now up the raceway. Could not get the run off turn number 2 that he needed.
Here comes back into the screen Jack Clevenger ripping the top side as Schultz takes a look to the inside for the race lead. Down into turn number 1. Schultz may have it if he can complete it. Short on the top. He's got the right rear on the cushion. The yellow is out. Who was leading at the line? We'll find out. It looks like Brandon Schultz may be your new race leader in the 193.
You know, we haven't seen Schultz for a while, but making his return tonight and putting a heck of a show on in that 193 car. Like you mentioned earlier, Sean, started 9th. And where are they going to put him? Are they going to put him on the top spot, or are they going to shuffle him back to 2nd? Very good racing out of that 193 car tonight.
Oh, looks like Jonathan Short back in the lead. So Short had the lead last time by the scoring tower here on the front straightaway. Not seeing exactly what the caution was out for.
So Schultz has gone 7 positions, and they're saying Jeff Fitzpatrick, who currently sits 13th, has gone plus 11. So it looks like Fitzpatrick, your current 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger at the moment, with 6 laps remaining.
He was the final starter on the grid here tonight, as he's up there behind his Bandy-built teammate Jeremy Paulson running in the 12th position. So yeah, good run going there for that Wagman Brothers number 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick. Shaky, as we used to call him in the RC racing world. If you ever seen him race an RC car, you'll know why.
So I'll take your word for it, my friend.
Trust me on that one. You can trust me. This is going to be interesting here on this restart. We've seen these drivers battling for the race lead. We saw Brandon Schultz and his move. Did he show his hand here too early? We're going to have a handful of laps when we come back to the green. That A&J Custom Creations 51 of John Short brings us back to racing action here at the Weed Sports Speedway. The finale starts now.
5-lap shootout here as Brandon Schultz. Oh, he's going to still tuck it. And he turns Jonathan Short. Doesn't turn him quite all the way. But here comes Clevenger to capitalize off turn number 2. Clevenger going to go back to the point now in car 78. Schultz, though, fighting on the bottom in car 193 as Clevenger gets into the wall ever so slightly. Brandon Schultz, your new race leader off turn 2.
Oh, I think Clevenger had a run for the lead, but got into the concrete on the front straightaway, woed him down just enough, but he's going to stay on that high line and try to finish this one off. You know Jonathan Short is not happy back there in 3rd, gritting his teeth. He's mad under the helmet. He's doing all he can to try to come back after Brandon Schultz, who leads off of turn number 4. Side by side for that second spot between Clevenger and Short down the front straightaway. Give it back to Short as they hit turn 1.
John Bowers coming into the mix now, along with Chapman, your current top 5. 2 laps to go, lap and a half to go for Brandon Schultz in car 193 as he's going to hit the stripe. White flag is out one more time around Wheat Sports, Sean.
Last trip for your race leader, Brandon Schultz down the back straightaway. They're racing for the second spot. Short and Clevenger, final time. They'll head into turn number 3 to battle that one out. For the first time, it is Brandon Schultz winning with the Renegades at the line for second. Clevenger, Short finishes third. Bowers fourth. Blake Chapman fifth. Jesse Bandy, John Hines, Stephen Goldner, Matthew Croakey, and Zane Walters, your unofficial top 10 here tonight for the A&J Custom Creations Renegades from the Sports Speedway. Scotty, we promised excitement at the beginning of the show here tonight in the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show, and that is exactly what we got in the A&J Custom Creations main event. Oh my, that was a good one. Fireworks in the air. We had some fireworks on the Speedway, Scotty.
Yeah, it looked like Schultz was faster on that restart, and unfortunately nowhere to go getting into the back of John Short, but Schultz definitely was the car to beat tonight, as he puts it, in victory lane. Clevenger as well coming back to get the runner-up spot, and John Short rounding out your podium. Great race put on tonight, and on this tricky track, so everyone definitely had some entertainment tonight.
It was entertaining. We'll look forward to hearing from all 3 of our top 3 podium finishers tonight. Also, your 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger Award recipient, Jeff Fitzpatrick. He got through half the field, started 24th, got up to 12th with that number 90 machine. So good run for him, coming home just outside the top 10 here tonight. But the night belonged to Brandon Schultz. We'll hear from our feature winner here coming up in just a couple of moments as Jack Clevenger goes second and Jonathan Short finishes in the third spot. And that will bring us to tonight's Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane presentation down there in the winner's circle, as we'll get to hear from our top 3 drivers, letting them get out of the cars and get the safety gear off, maybe get a cool drink on a warm night here in New York, and then we'll have an opportunity to hear from our top 3. So let's do that right now. Let's head on into the Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium here tonight. Jonathan Short's going to come home in the third position. Man, Jonathan, I don't know how to feel for you right now. You had a great run here this evening, but at the same time, to come home on the podium at the Weed Sports Speedway, such a difficult track. A podium is good, but man, that 51 machine looked good out front too.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. It was a little hard to say. It's not a little disappointing right now, and just having it kind of taken away there at the end, running most of the laps out front. But I knew Brandon was coming, and usually he's one of the cleanest racers out here. So he's apologized several times. It's a racing deal. I haven't looked at it yet to see, but I changed up my line, and he probably wasn't expecting it. And it's kind of one of those deals. We recovered, and was hoping to still maintain a second, but Jack just got me at the line there, which is kind of even more salt in the wounds. But we'll take a third. We needed a good night tonight, and after last week and points and everything. So hopefully this will help out.
How difficult is this track, and how mentally straining is it when you're running out front like you were, when you got heavy hitters behind you, you're on a difficult racetrack, and you're running that bottom, you're running the top, you got concrete that just likes to jump out and bite you any time here at this track. So how mentally taxing was this event tonight?
Yeah, you nailed it right there. I've told my teammates, I've told several people this week, this is the most technical track I think we run at. Turns 1 and 2 will bite you in a hurry. You got to be able to get the car thrown in there and get a good exit. And then running around the wall is really difficult here, because these walls are kind of modeled in a way that if you touch them, you really don't have a chance to save them most of the time. So it's very technical, and it's very difficult to run 30 clean laps here. I know I touched the wall once or twice there, but yeah, it's very tough, and I know it's tight as well. So passing's at a premium as well.
Good run here tonight on the podium. You're going to be able to hold your head high when you watch this one. You ran a great race. Who do you need to thank for the solid podium run here tonight with that 51?
Definitely got to thank the guys at Kreitz Sim Racing, Coast to Coast Racing. Those guys are great over there, helping out with team and practices and everything. And then we got A&J Custom Creations, the lead sponsor here. He does great trophies. All the guys, those guys in the league that have them, they love them. And Galen's Homegrown Popcorn, and then Christ Oval Track Parts, especially. And then you guys for putting it on, GeForce for putting on the league, everybody that's a part of it. And got to thank the wife as well for letting me do this each and every night, or not every night, but most of the nights I probably should be doing something else. So.
You saved the most important one for last there, Jonathan.
Oh, that's the golden ticket right there.
Congratulations on a good run tonight. John Short going to finish third here in tonight's A&J Custom Creations main event. Scotty, if you don't mind, I'm going to talk to this other driver here wandering up to the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane presentation, because he is tonight's 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award recipient. He's the driver of the 90. Jeff Fitzpatrick, Hard Charger tonight. Nice job, my friend.
Well, hot damn. How'd you like the show there, boys and girls?
That was a wild one. How wild was it? You had to start at the back of the pack here at the Weed Sports Speedway, and that is like, how in the world do you still have your nose wing on that car after the end of 30 laps?
Well, I was just going to go to the beer garden and say the hell with it, because I had a bad qualifying in my heat race. There's a little mix up in there, it was a little rough, and then my steering went out in the B main. I blew the GFI out, and I lost all steering. So that put me to the back of the pack. I got lucky.
How'd you get that ready for the A main so quick?
Well, I ran up and I looked at it, and it's happened to me once before. So I was hoping that was it. And so I saw that it was blowing out and reset it quick and hit the track.
Little luck here tonight as well. Some technical know-how behind the scenes. And what are you going to do after this race? Probably go crack a couple cold ones, watch the replay?
You know that.
Who do you need to thank for the good Hard Charger award here tonight, the 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award?
I got to thank everybody down at the Bandy Build shop, and just a great group of guys. I mean, we have such a blast, and Brandon and Jesse and Goldner and Moonen and JP and Brendan Lacey and Lance, that little kid, thank God he was out here tonight. He would have been a front. That kid can wheel. But I need to thank Ross at Velocity. He gives us some really great designs on the cars. And BioOil.com, Wegman Brothers, Dirt Doctor Trucking, and you guys for putting on the show, man. I love listening to you guys and watching the replays, after the races and stuff. You guys do an awesome job, and it's fun to watch.
Well, it's fun to watch drivers like you. Congratulations on your 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award here tonight, Jeff Fitzpatrick.
It's always good talking to you, man. It's been a while.
We'll hope to talk to you again soon. All right, Jeff Fitzpatrick, your 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award recipient here tonight. And let's go catch up with Scotty DeYoung. Scotty catching up with tonight's runner-up, the driver of the 78. That's Jack Clevenger with Scotty DeYoung.
Jack, one of the trickiest tracks here in iRacing, and you made it look easy out front, and then Brandon Schultz and John Short running there in the top three as well, coming back to get a second place finish, the run-up spot tonight. How wild was this track?
I hate this place. I don't like starting on the pole period, and starting on the pole of the track I don't like. It just makes you nervous, and it was fun in the end, but I'm glad to be moving on.
With a second place finish that finished tonight, battling with Brandon Schultz and with John Short there. What was that like just within the top three, and how did the track break down tonight for you?
I mean, typically this place runs around the bottom, and on the last restart there, I decided I was going to run up top and see what happened up there. I was either going to stick it in the fence or make something happen, and I kind of figured they were going to be fighting for the bottom. I know Short had been running the slider line, and Brandon was on the bottom, and they both went to the bottom, and I got a run on him, and I heard 3 wide, and a little nervous, but it's always fun racing with Brandon. He makes you step up your game, and if you can beat him, you're really doing something. So it's nice to race against guys like that.
Especially when they got together, you seem to be taking the high line, trying to capitalize on that. Just what is the trickiest thing about this track, though? Is it going through these weird corners, or is it just trying to make sure you hit your marks?
Hit your marks. I can't run the bottom here. I don't know why. It's the shape of the walls. Kind of, you can't really carry an arc, and I can't anyway. And it gets so thin down there, and just trying to be patient enough. And it's bumpy on the front stretch, so you get bouncing, and the cars wanting to go everywhere. And I'm a momentum guy. If I can try and keep a little momentum, it's better for me. So I was just kind of watching the top of 1 and 2, and it looked like there might be something there, and I tried it, and it was decent.
Who would you like to thank tonight for putting the 78 car on the runner-up spot tonight?
I thank Radine SRC, Epsilon Sprint Wraps for the new paint. I think it looks great, and A&J Custom Creations for all they do for hosting the deal, and just all the guys at SRC, Scotty, Devo, Keith.
Once again, Jack Clevenger, the 78 car coming home in your runner-up position tonight. Thank you for your time, and good luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to throw it over to Sean Neested now, standing by with Brandon Schultz, tonight's victor. So we're going to throw it over to Sean. Take it away, my friend.
All right, Scotty, thank you very much. Brandon Schultz, and big-time run here tonight. 9th up to the win at a track where everyone will be they'll be transparent. This track's hard to pass on. You were able to get through the field and get that 193 out front. How'd you do it?
It was pretty tough. First, I got to apologize to Connor Ross and especially John Short. It wasn't intentional. He was running slider line before. I didn't expect him to go to the bottom and stick it, and it was just one of those deals where you're in the slick, you smash the brakes, and the car just kind of keeps sliding a little bit. And I'm glad he saved it, but I really don't like to drive like that or take a win like that. So first of all, apologize to both of them drivers. But yeah, I mean, just got a couple of breaks to go our way. That last kind of caution when we passed them before me and Short got together kind of hurt us a little bit. But yeah, the car was good all night long. So yeah, we'll definitely take it, but just wish it could have been under better circumstances.
It takes a certain kind of person who can come out and after a win and say, that's not how I wanted to do it. So I mean, what does that say? I'm not going to ask you to talk about yourself, but that seems like the way most everyone is in these GeForce racing leagues. Of if something isn't quite how they want it to happen, they're the first to step up and say, you know what, that's on me, I can do better. So what does that mean to you to race in a league like this?
Oh, it's great. Like 99% of the drivers in here are just super clean. I mean, you'll have some crashes every now and then, but it's awesome to run with the competition of just such clean drivers, and it's really not rare for us to go flag to flag, and that's happened multiple times. So it's awesome to know that you can really set your car up for a long run and have it come in better and better and not get plagued by cautions over and over. So the true testament to all the drivers out here. They all keep it really clean and good, hard, fun racing.
What was the key getting from the fifth row to the front of this thing and, relatively clean? You didn't get into the outside wall. You didn't knock down the inside wall like so many people try to do. Like, what's the key to success on this track?
It's kind of just, to be honest, tonight I just kind of tried to run where nobody else was. We tried the bottom early, and I couldn't really gain too much ground on the bottom of 1 and 2. Just slider line in 1 and 2 was so much faster. You could carry so much more momentum, but I just tried to go where everybody else wasn't, and if an opportunity opened up, it's something with sprint cars, you got to take, every inch you can get, and that's kind of what I tried to do. But yeah, it's not easy. I'm not saying I'm the best there is, but it's not easy to pass a lot of these guys. They're all really quick. They put in the time and effort to be up front. So to do that, it's pretty cool. But yeah, just a huge testament to all these drivers. They're so fast.
A lot of great names aboard that 193 machine. Who do you need to thank helping you get here to the Epsilon Sprint Wraps winner circle tonight with the A&J Custom Creations Renegades?
First and foremost, I got to thank Bandy Built Race Cars, all my teammates. I mean, without them and all the work that they've put in lately, I haven't been around as much as I should, and they're still all putting in the work. So it's awesome to see, and I really got to thank each and every one of them guys, and got to thank ABR Setup Shop. They have some of the best stuff out there if you're looking to go a lot faster. Got to thank Velocity Race Wraps. Ross does awesome work. Thank you guys for streaming. Dirt Doctor Trucking, BuyOil.com, Wagman Brothers. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few, but I got to thank all them guys. I got to thank my number one fan, Scotty Edwards, and yeah, just you guys for streaming.
All right, you got it. Brandon Schultz, congratulations on the win here tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
Brandon Schultz will pick up the win here tonight with the A&J Custom Creations Renegades, Jack Clevenger and John Short with him on the podium, and your 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award recipient, Jeff Fitzpatrick. Scotty, that puts this night into the books. We will look forward to this coming Thursday with those Epsilon Sprint Reps Big Block Modifieds. This racetrack is their home out there in New York, and we'll get to put that combination together this Thursday.
Yeah, I cannot wait for Thursday Night Thunder. We thought tonight was interesting. It's gonna be interesting Thursday as well. Great racing all around here tonight, though. But one thing I do need to touch on, Sean, just the amount of sportsmanship in this league. Like you saw Schultz apologizing for getting into not only Ross but then Short as well. These guys definitely are, class acts and true sportsmen. So doing that, kudos to him though tonight though in that 193 car.
You know what? That makes the win all the much more worthwhile. If you can, it's the same thing you try to teach your kids when they're young, when they're getting into sports. You teach them how to win. You teach them how to lose. You teach them how to be a gracious winner, and you teach them how to be a gracious loser. And that is exactly what we see here week in, week out. A lot of great people all around on these GeForce Racing Leagues. So that's what makes it fun to be part of it, right, Scotty?
Oh, absolutely. And just to stay humble through everything as well. It just cannot preach that enough. And still good to see here in the GeForce Esports Racing Leagues.
That's going to do it for tonight. So with everyone with the GeForce Racing Leagues, we thank you for tuning in here tonight on GeForce TV and GeForce Esports. You can head on over to GeForceRL.com. That's short for GeForce Racing Leagues. GeForceRL.com and take a look at the 20 or so different leagues available all week long for the GeForce Racing Leagues. And, of course, you can stay tuned here on GeForce Esports for all of the broadcasts almost every single night of the week. Scotty and I will be back on Thursday with the Big Block Modified. So until then, for Scotty DeYoung and the entire staff of the GeForce Racing Leagues, I'm Sean Neested, wishing you good health, be kind to everybody out there, and God bless. We'll see you Wednesday night. Good night, everybody.